Hello guys, and welcome to Monza for another edition of this F1 2014 100% race career. We are getting ready here for the first qualifying session in the Italian Grand Prix, and lo and behold, would you look at that? That is the first time I can remember a race weekend where we haven't been looking at any sort of rain at any point in time. This is going to be a good weekend. I can just feel it into my bones here. It's going to be beautiful. Just finishing up our first lap here in Q1. Nothing brilliant, but it should be enough to get us into Q2, and it is. Jumping head first into Q2 here. This is going to be our first lap coming through the Ascari chicane. Almost loose in the back end there as we are running an absolutely no wing setup. Also, as you can see, we have opted to go for the prime tire here in Q2. Because I would like to start the race on that particular compound. I feel we might have a better chance of actually pulling away from some of the AI cars early in the race, or at the very least stay competitive early in the race. And I think if we could get the prime stint out of the way there early, then maybe the option tires would make things a little bit easier for us later in the race. But this is not a particularly great lap, so we are going to be staying out for a second lap here as Monza has the temporary best at the moment. And this is not going to be a very good lap either, unfortunately. So maybe this gamble with the prime tires just isn't turning out the way we would like it to. So we are going to accelerate time here and see how things turn out. We are already down to 9th, 10th place here, right ahead of Hulkenberg, and I'm not feeling overly confident in our position right now. So we're gonna be biting the bullet here, and we are gonna be putting on the option tire and going out for an extra lap. A 1:26.571, that's an improvement of basically 0.3 of a second. Nothing brilliant, but it does get us into the shootout here. Q3, this is our first lap here as we finally managed to navigate the Ascari chicane in a satisfactory manner here. We are going to be cranking the engine into rich mode and just putting the pedal to the metal here and see where it takes us. As Rosberg puts up a temporary best, 1:25.210. That's the time to beat at the moment. And we actually do beat that time, by far our best time all weekend. But we are going to be staying out for an extra lap here because, as you can see there, Hamilton has not yet posted a lap, which he does there, 1:24.430. So that's a significant improvement over both our time and Rosberg's time. Also, Rosberg squeezes back into the second slot there as he has apparently improved on his time but was unable to beat Hamilton. 1:24.675, 2.5 of a second behind Hamilton. We do manage to squeeze in ahead of Rosberg though in the second slot there, meaning we start directly behind Hamilton on race day. And I have to say that for the first time the entire weekend, we did manage to put the hammer down right when we needed a set of good laps, and it seems that we were able to deliver. And as we are getting ready for the Italian Grand Prix here, we are looking over the pit strategy here. We are going for a two-stop race, and we'll be starting out on options and having our middle stint on options as well, and switching to primes to finish out the race here. I would have liked to start on primes, but as you could see there during the qualifying session, that was not to be, unfortunately. Getting nicely off the line here. It appears that Hamilton's looks like he was fishtailing just a little bit there, and we have a very nice start as we apparently got out of the gate a little faster than he did, and we have the line down the inside here into turn 1, and it appears that Rosberg actually touches the back of Hamilton's car there, forcing him to go a little bit wide there, giving us all the room in the world to get the move done, and we are into P1 here in the Italian Grand Prix. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how the McLaren is going to be able to stack up against the Mercedes cars here on this particular track. So far, it has been my impression that in a straight line, the McLaren seems to be matching up with the Mercs very well, actually. Actually, a lot better than it does in real life. But here in F1 2014, it does appear that in a straight line, the McLaren and the Mercedes cars are pretty similar. As you can see there, as we come up here on the finishing line, Rosberg has overtaken Hamilton and has bumped into third place, and we would definitely like to see Rosberg finish ahead of Hamilton in this race. No doubt about that. Bottas is in fourth, and I'm not really sure who's in fifth at the moment. Skipping ahead to lap 4 here as we run a little wide here in the right-hander. We have Hamilton into P2 once again, and he's going to have a look down the inside here with DRS, but he's not going to make the move stick as he doesn't have the line, has to step on the brakes hard, and apparently almost causes a pileup there, giving us the opportunity to pull away and out of DRS range of the two Mercedes cars. Jumping to lap 7, we are in a bit of a stalemate here at the moment as we have opened up a gap of about 5 seconds down to Hamilton. Also, Rosberg appears to be dropping down the order just a little bit at the moment. I'm not sure where he is exactly, but as you can see there, we currently have Felipe Massa in third. And just as we're talking about Rosberg there, he puts in the fastest lap of the race so far. And it's not like we've been setting the track on fire so far with our own lap times, sir, but we do manage to keep the gap down to Hamilton fairly intact at 4 seconds at the moment. Take a look at the mini-map down there in the chicane. Coming into the chicane, there's some heavy braking going on. 3 cars almost on top of each other. And I'm not sure exactly what was going on, but suddenly Hamilton is out of P2 and into P4. Skipping ahead to lap 12, something fishy is definitely going on with the Mercs there. As you can see, Rosberg has now dropped to 5th. Jenson Button is in 4th, and Hamilton is nowhere to be found within the first 6 places there. And on the very next lap, as you can see there, Rosberg now down to 19th, appears to be out of the race, and Hamilton still nowhere to be found. So something must have happened, though I'm not sure what. Skipping to lap 16 here, we are coming in for our first pit stop of the race here, and we are going to be changing to another set of option tires, and hopefully are going to be able to keep Felipe Massa behind us there. We are going to be rejoining the track in second, I would expect, as I think Vettel has already been into pit. No, he hasn't. He actually passes us right here, in fact. So looks like we're going to be chasing a little bit. No, wait a second, that was Jenson Button there. So that's our teammate Button right ahead of us. I would expect him to come into pit on the very next lap, though. Just as expected there, as we come through the Parabolica, you can see Button is going into pit on this particular lap, and Massa just coming out of the pits right there. We are back into P1, as Vettel is also into pit at the moment. And again, Hamilton nowhere to be seen so far. Skipping ahead to lap 22, we are still leading the race here with Massa and Bottas in P2 and 3. Also, Hamilton appears to be finding his groove again here, putting up the fastest lap. And like I said earlier, I'm not really sure what happened to him there, but he must have had some sort of damage that forced him to make an early pit stop. But he is definitely putting the hammer down at the moment here, and you can never count him out until the race is over. Skipping ahead to lap 31 here, we have been running the engine in lean mode to save a little bit of fuel here for the past couple of laps. And as you can see, Massa has been able to close the gap on us a little bit, but he is still outside DRS range as we are cranking the engine back into standard mode and aiming to keep him there, because I really don't want him within DRS range if I can help it. These AI cars are really difficult to get out of that zone once they're actually there. If you manage to pull away from them and get them out of DRS range, all you really have to do is make sure you don't make any driving errors. But then again, that might be easier said than done. Lap 34, we are coming in for our second and last pit stop of the race here. We are going to be switching to a set of primes for the final stint, and we are going to be doing about 20 laps on those. And it also appears that both Massa and Vettel are taking the time to pit on this very lap as we are rejoining the track in first position here. Not sure that time holds up down to Vettel there, but as you can see, what is very interesting, however, though, is that Hamilton is re-emerging into P3 at the moment. And I'm not really sure what his pit strategy is going to be for the remainder of the racer, but as you can see, 1:25.803, fastest lap of the race so far, once again courtesy of Lewis Hamilton. So things could be getting very interesting here for the final stint. Lap 39, interesting indeed here as Hamilton has closed the gap on us completely and is having a look down the inside there. So this could easily become a very, very nerve-wracking final 14 laps. Skipping ahead to lap 41 here, the situation remains the same. Hamilton all over us from behind here. He's got to have a look with DRS coming into the Ascari chicane, but once again, just like early in the race, he has to put on the brakes heavily, and we are able to pull away here. And this is important because we are going to be able to get him out of DRS range. And like I said earlier in the race, it's going to be much easier to keep him at bay as long as we can just keep him that 1 second behind us there. And as we jump further ahead here to lap 45, this is exactly what is happening. Hamilton is basically matching our speed at the moment, and he is unable to close the gap here. However, these tires that we're on, the prime tires, I'm not sure what compound that Hamilton is on, but we have been pushing these tires hard for the past 15 laps or so, and they are starting to show heavy wear and tear. They do not look all that mangled when you look at them in the tire menu there, but I'm telling you, they're not feeling very well. And if only my engineer could just shut up for a second, that'd be a very nice change. Just as we run wide here in the right-hander, as we come out on the second DRS straight heading into the Ascari chicane, Hamilton is going to be able to close the gap on us now. And I have to believe that he is going to be within DRS range here as we come out on the finishing straight. So he is most likely going to have a look there, and we are going to be defending. And also, as the fuel light is coming on there, that is giving me a very nasty flashback to what happened last year on this track. Lap 53 here, Hamilton is going to have one last look here. He is most likely going to move down the inside, so we take a defensive line heading into the Ascari chicane there, but he's not going to be able to get it done. And unless we lose the car here, I don't think he's going to be able to put us under pressure here on the straight coming into the Parabolica. But what I'm looking at right now is that fuel light there. It's been flashing like this for over a lap. Please don't run out of fuel now. Not now. Please, not now. 500 yards to go. Come on, please. Just keep it going. Keep it going. We are going to be taking the win here in Italy on Monza. And that's all she wrote. Thank you very much. So in retrospect, not an unfortunate win here at Monza, I have to say. Lewis Hamilton putting up one heck of a fight there. Like I said, I'm not really sure what happened to him or whether or not Rosberg was actually involved in that incident as well there, but he had to pit early and seemed to lose a lot of time at one point in the race before re-emerging around the time of our second pit stop there. But we managed to take the win here and increase the gap once again in the Drivers' Championship, as we now have a lead of 25 points. Constructors' Championship, no surprise there, Mercedes still leading the pack. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please don't forget to leave a like or subscribe to this channel for more F1 2014 action. And I'll be back soon enough. Bye-bye.